What's up, everybody? Welcome to Two Metalheads. I am James,
Mario.
and we are going to discuss uh, concerts
Ah,
that we have been to as a fan that are like our favorite shows. That it was like, holy fuck, I'm so glad I went to that show. Like our favorite concerts that we attended, not played.
yeah. Um, the first one I would think of would be Metallica. It was my first concert,
Right.
uh, early 90s, probably like 92 or 3, somewhere around there. And I mean, they didn't disappoint, you know,
Of course.
but I was heavily into them at that time. So, yeah, that would be my first one, I would say.
Yeah, my number. Yeah, I'd say let's go with three. Would be Kiss. I saw Kiss at Madison Square Garden 1998, so I saw the original lineup back together,
Mm,
um, which was very cool. It's the one and only time I ever got to see Kiss, and I can't complain about that because I got to see the OG Kiss back together, and that was a roller coaster of a night because I was on probation at the time.
huh.
I had gotten arrested for, I was working at ShopRite in Croton, and I had gotten arrested for stealing money from the cash register. Because, it's what you do when you're a fucking teenager and stupid and think that you're not going to get caught. So I was on probation for a couple years and I bought the tickets for Kiss. I was heavily into them at this point. Like it was kind of like one of those points where it was like the only band I was really listening to a lot. I was just kind of obsessed with them. So I got the ticket, and you're supposed to tell your probation officer when you're leaving the county, just in case anything happens, you get in any kind of trouble, whatever. But I was afraid to do that because I was afraid if I told my probation officer that I was leaving the county to go see Kiss, she'd be like, "No, I don't want you going to that. You got to be home and fucking, you can't go out. You're going to get into some kind of trouble. You're going to fucking cause mischief, whatever." So I didn't tell my PO. So got on the train with my buddy who lived upstairs from me. He was the guy that was teaching me how to play music and stuff. We were jamming together. He was 9 years older than me. So take a big bag of weed, stuff it in a pack of cigarettes, and got some rolling papers and take the train down to fucking New York City to go to Madison Square Garden and see Kiss. So we get off the train, we're walking towards the garden, and it's like, hey, let's go to the bodega and grab a couple beers. So we grab a couple beers and we have them like in the long bags so you can't see what you're drinking. And we're walking, to the end of the line at MS, and there's dudes out with kegs. There's people fucking passing flasks back and forth. There's people smoking weed, and nobody gives a fuck. So me and my buddy crack our beers, and we maybe got two sips in, and these fucking cops walk up to us. And my buddy gets the good cop, and I get the bad cop. I get the cop that wants to be a fucking piece of shit. So he fucking makes me put my beer down on the ground. He goes, "Put your beer down on the ground." I put it down on the ground. And he goes, "Now back up." And I back up and he kicked it at me and it fucking hit me right in the chest. And fucking beer all down my fucking chest, in my face. So he goes, "You fucking piece of shit drinking on my fucking street in New York City. What the fool do you think you fucking are?" And he just wanted to fuck my ass. He just wanted to fuck my ass. He just wanted to scare the fucking shit out of me. So he's like, "Put your fucking hands up." So I put my hands up. "What's in your pockets? Give me what's in your pockets." So I pull out a pack of cigarettes that's unopened, and I pull out a pack of cigarettes that's got a couple cigarettes in it, and then it's got the bag of weed in it.
Mm.
So I hand over both packs of cigarettes, and I hand over my lighter, and I hand over my wallet. "How much fucking money you got on you?" I got like $50 on me. I just wanted to get a Kiss shirt tonight. "You got no fucking drugs on you?" "No, I don't have any drugs on me." "Don't fucking lie to me." "I'm not lying to you, sir. I don't have any drugs on me." So then he's like, "Give me everything that you got on you." I had a pack of rolling papers on me that were separate from the cigarette packs. So I hand him over the rolling paper. "Why you got rolling papers?" Um, I saved the cigarette butts at the end and I empty them out into the rolling papers and I roll my own cigarettes. I don't know how I thought of that. And he goes, "Yeah, all right." And the whole time I'm thinking, dude, if he opens up that pack that's got the fucking bag of weed in it, I am fucking done. So this dude's in my fucking grill. He's nose to nose. "Who the fuck are you? Where do you fucking live?" I tell him where I live. "Who are your parents?" I say, "My dad's gone." "Oh, yeah, I could see why your dad's gone, you fat fucking faggot, long haired fucking Kiss fan. Who did the fucking think you are on my fucking street?" I just want to go see Kiss, sir. I just want to go see Kiss. At this point, I'm 17 years old, dude. I'm crying because I know if I fucking tell this dude I'm on probation, I am fucked.
And this is before the era of when everybody in the line would have been having a cell phone on this guy and he would have ended up fired.
Oh, that's way before that.
Yeah.
Yes, way before that. So my buddy is with me. He's 9 years older than me, and I'm just hoping he pipes up and says something, but he's not. But then I hear him talking to the other cop, and he's like, "Yo, this kid's 17, man. He loves Kiss. He just wants to be down here enjoying the show." And I hear the other cop go, "Look, your boy's going to be all right. You got to just let this dude do this. This is something he likes to do. He's got to embarrass this kid and dress him down. Just let it happen, and everything's going to be all right." So I let this fucking cop berate me and call me every kind of fucking fat, retard, faggot, all that shit. And then he goes, "Now fucking pick that beer up, throw it in the garbage, and go into your fucking gay show that you're going to see." "All right, sir. Cool." So he finally fucking walks away. And what does my buddy say? "Let's go back to the bodega and get a couple more beers." I said, "Dude, are you fucking kidding me?" "Nah, let's go back and get a couple more beers. You're all right." So reluctantly, I followed my friend back into the bodega, got a couple more beers. I'm wearing like camo fatigues, got the beers in my fucking side pockets, get to the fucking line to go in. Guy doesn't pat you down at all. This is 1998. This is before 9/11. Nobody fucking cares. Go in and sit down, take a couple of deep breaths, and my buddy puts his arm around me. He's like, "Dude, everything's all right. That guy was just a fucking scumbag. Just enjoy the show, have a beer, light up a joint, let's fucking get stoned. Everything's cool." And everything was eventually cool. The show was fan fucking tastic. I finally took a couple breaths and calmed down, and fucking everything was all right. That was a night that started super scary
Yeah.
and became something very cool because I finally saw Kiss.
Which is one of my top ones also. But this would have
I'm
been
not surprised.
2017 maybe I saw them.
Yeah.
So yeah, and they were great. I think I talked about it in one of the other episodes that I saw them. Yeah,
Yeah, we talked about it on here once before, but yeah,
yeah.
that's it's hard to top Kiss live, man. They are fucking brilliant.
They were. I expected it to be good, but I also knew at that time they're really old.
Right.
But damn, they were good. Like
Fuck yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah, they give you your money's worth. Even
absolutely,
towards the end, their fucking ticket prices got a little expensive, but they fucking gave you what you were looking for.
they weren't crazy when I went. I mean, they were high, but it was like I think it was like $180, and it was decent,
That's not terrible.
not terrible considering what it became. Decent seats. Like I had a great view. Um, the shirts, I got a 3/4 sleeve,
Yeah,
and it was like $60,
sounds right.
which at that time was like, holy shit. Like
Yeah,
a t-shirt was like 40.
right.
Hoodie was like fucking 80 or $90. But
Yeah.
I also know at places like Madison Square Garden, the Barclays Center, whatever,
Barclays, yeah.
they take like 30 to 40% of the band merch from the band,
Yes, they do.
like the money. So who do you think's paying for
Yeah,
it? You know? So
of
yeah,
course.
yeah. But I bought the shirt anyway.
Of course. Yeah, you have to. Especially a show that good, you got to walk away with a fucking souvenir.
Yeah. I mean, I usually get the shirt. I probably did before I went in, and it came in a like Kiss bag, which is kind of cool.
Of course. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
badass.
Yeah. I think I still
Did you
have
keep
it.
the bag too?
Yeah, I think I did. Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's definitely one of mine too. I mean, I don't have a crazy story like you. I went down there, went in, and
And that was it. Yeah.
yeah, I took everything out of my pockets, including I think a vape pen,
Right.
and then that was it. But
Yeah.
they don't know what's in the vape pen.
That's true.
Not
Yeah.
like they're gonna be like, let me test this, you know. So
Right.
yeah, I don't know
Let
if
me
you're
get
allowed to
cool
bring
of this
them.
real quick. Just make sure you ain't got weed in here.
I don't know if they let you bring that stuff in anymore. But there were cops outside with guns, like the big guns, like just
Yeah.
standing there, like. But I wasn't worried. That was fine. Yeah, I didn't never had the only times I might have had an issue at a show was like fights, but like so
Yeah.
I was at Guar, which was an awesome show also. First
Of
time I
course.
saw Guar like 3 times, and I wasn't into their music. And I'm still
Right.
not really listen. I would still never put on a Guar album. I don't care. But they are so fucking fun to watch live that so I went there. This guy's in front of me, and he keeps like and purposely banging into me, hitting me. And I was with Gene, who's in my band Assault, and I keep looking over at Gene, and he's smiling like, I'm like, this fucking guy. And he did it, and he turned around, and I fucking decked him, and he went
Good.
down, and it was sold out. Like he went down, and I had no idea where he went. Couldn't see him anymore. And I look up at the stage, and Big Chuck was on stage at the time. And for anybody,
Yeah.
he's like 7 feet tall, and he's big. And I just see him look at me and go. And it didn't bother getting up though. I was like, fuck, he's gonna kick me out. No, didn't give a shit. He knew me at that point. I had played there more times than a lot of headliners had played there.
Right. Yeah.
You
You
know?
probably played there more times than Guar had at that point.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I probably close to 100 times probably in that
Yeah.
short 8 year period. We were playing there almost every month for 8 years.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah. Definitely. You guys were fucking almost a house band there.
yeah. I mean, I was signing people's tickets, and then I'm like, you have no idea that I'm a nobody. But all right, I'll sign your ticket. My band's on the ticket, so fuck it, why not?
Yeah. Fair
You know,
enough.
like, yeah. So, but yeah, that
That's
one was like,
awesome.
and then I almost got kicked out of Metal Church when we opened. It was Metal Church and 3 Inches of Blood, and I don't remember what I did for that one either. But it was a fight. But I'm not somebody that starts the fights. Like
Yeah, you just got caught up in it.
yeah, and then it was the same thing. Chuck looked at me and went, just shook his head, and was like, whatever. Like, because I've been there, and he knows me well enough to know, like, all right, I know he didn't start this, like,
Yeah.
he could take care of himself. I'll leave him alone. So, but other than that, like, yeah, I've never had a huge problem at a show.
Yeah, that Kiss thing was like, that's probably the only time I ever had like a problem where it was like a fucking, this is gonna be a problem. Um, Another favorite show of mine is also Metallica. I was supposed to see them the night you saw them, and
Oh,
I've told the story on here before about how my sister fucked me out
oh
of that.
yes, yeah, yeah,
So it was years later, Death Magnetic album, 2009. I
I
finally got the chance.
I had stopped listening to them by then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a fucking Metallica fanboy,
Oh, I
so
think
I never really stopped.
for me, I think it was like I liked the Black Album. I know a lot of people didn't. I liked the Black Album, and then Load came out, and I was like, eh. And then Reload came out, and The
Yeah,
Symphony album came out, eh. Saint Anger. I was like, all right, fuck, I'm done.
you done? Yeah,
Done. And now it
I
doesn't
get it.
matter. They could come out with an awesome album now. I just don't care anymore. Like four in a
I
row,
get it.
you lost me. Four in a row. Like
Right.
Megadeth put out Risk, and I didn't like that. Every album after that I was fine with. You know?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
So
pretty much. World Needs a Hero was a good makeup for that.
yeah, that was what I think Al Petrelli, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So but you
So
could put
yeah, I
out
finally got
you could
finally.
you could put out a dud and I'll forgive you. Four in a row,
Yeah.
I can't do it. I'm sorry. Like,
See, for me, I liked Load and Reload, the Symphony album. I dug because that was pretty much everything up to that point, just with Symphony stuff on it. And Saint Anger, I got to admit, I played the fuck out of it when it came out, and there's moments on that album that I really like. So they never really turned me off with anything. So I kind of just stayed a Metallica
I
fan.
think the production on Saint Anger was so horrible to me that I didn't
Yeah.
care what was on it. It
Yeah, the
sounded
production does
so
stink.
shitty. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, I can't listen to this. It sounds terrible.
They said they were trying to make it sound like a bad demo.
Oh, it worked.
So that pretty much it worked.
But you're
But yeah, the
Metallica.
Death Magnetic came.
You have albums that cost you $80,000 to make, and then you put out this
Yeah,
turd. Like,
true. And that album was, I'm sure that album wasn't cheap to make either because Bob Rock produced it,
yeah, maybe.
you know.
Seems like they were trying too hard to sound like Slipknot.
There's that too, because that there's no guitar solos on it. It's in the height of new metal being a big thing. You
Yeah.
could tell they're trying to appease that audience a little bit, you know. And then that album, they went on tour with fucking Limp Bizkit and Kid Rock.
Yeah, yeah.
So there you go. But Death Magnetic, I thought was a great comeback, and I played the fuck out of that album, and I finally got a chance to go see them. The lead guitar player in my old band, Left in Ruins, had a hookup where it was like he had one extra ticket, and we were in general admission at Madison Square Garden. So I was like feet away from Metallica all night long.
Yeah, me too. When I was
And that was fucking so, it was so worth it to wait all those years to finally get to see Metallica like up close. Like they're doing one, and there's literally one person between me and Metallica.
I was singing songs with Jason Newsted. He was like right up against the fence, and we were right there, like a foot away from him, and
That's
he's
so
singing
cool.
songs with us. I mean, we
That's so
were.
cool.
He was, he's coming up to like the. I had my brother, my little brother was with me, so I'm like 13. He's 11.
Yeah,
So it's like, oh, cool, this kid's here. Let's go. And then Kurt Hammett was throwing picks to us. Of course, everybody else was taller than us and would reach over us and grab them before we got them.
of course.
But they were
That's
they
fucking
saw
awesome.
the little kids and were like, oh, cool, okay. So
Yeah,
Jason would come over every once in a while and sing parts of songs with us. It was cool.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's great being that close to a band that big.
yeah, yeah. And at that time, that was all I listened to was Metallica. I get home and put on like the box set VHSs and just watch videos of them playing. Like
Yeah, the
all I
live shit
listened to.
box.
Yeah, I still have it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but
I guess my favorite show of all time would be the time I saw Black Sabbath with Dio.
oh wow, okay, that's a cool one.
And it was when they had just had to change their name to Heaven and Hell.
Oh yeah, okay.
So I had gotten tickets through the singer from my old band, Left in Ruins. His sister worked for a dude that was a high roller at Mohegan Sun. And he had 4 tickets to Black Sabbath, Megadeth, Machine Head.
Hmm.
And the deal was like you went on the website for Mohegan Sun. If you bought the new Megadeth album, which at that time was United Abominations, and then
That was a
bought
good one.
the new Sabbath with Dio Greatest Hits album, you got to meet Megadeth before the concert and you got to meet Black Sabbath after the concert.
Oh, shit.
So we did the meet and greet with Megadeth, and to keep a long story short, I was very disappointed with Dave Mustaine. He was in a bad mood and just wasn't a very fucking nice guy at all. He wasn't looking anybody in the face. He was just kind of doing this and signing album covers and like flipping them back at people. And I got up to him and fucking tried to shake his hand, and he wouldn't shake my hand. And then I handed him a fucking demo and was like, dude, my band fucking worships you guys. Would you please listen? And he grabbed our CD and kind of threw it on the floor next to him. And he was just very dismissive. But then when it came showtime, he came out on stage and was a fucking great dude and fucking put on an awesome show. And Megadeth was killer. And Black Sabbath with Dio was fucking so perfect. There were points where like, and I was sick at a bunch. I think all 4 of us were sick with bad colds at the time. And it was like when they were playing, that all went away. It was just, I was just so involved in what was going on. And Sabbath were so good that I almost was like feeling natural highs while they were playing.
Hmm.
And Dio sounded fucking perfect. That was a killer show. I would love to go back and relive that because that's how good that was. I would even go back sick like I was and relive it again. And then meeting them at the end of it was the fucking complete and utter icing on the cake. Like all 4 of those dudes were so nice. The security guards were trying to rush everybody. So it was like you meet Vinny, shake hands, get an autograph. Okay, now here's Geezer, shake hands, get an autograph. You don't have 2 seconds to say nothing. But then I get to Tony Iommi, and there's a dude next to me that's in front of Dio, and he's literally crying in front of Dio. So I get to stand in front of Tony Iommi for a minute, and I'm like, dude, you were so great tonight. And I fucking learned so much by playing by ear to your songs when I was a kid and got my first guitar. Like, I love you so much. And he was so nice and so graceful and so fucking cool. And so was Dio. They finally pulled this kid away that was crying to Dio. And I finally got to Dio. And he was a teensy little fucking
Oh
guy,
yeah, yeah.
but just such a nice dude, man. Like, how you doing? How did I sound okay? Did the band sound? Yeah, you guys were fucking awesome. Like, thank you for coming out. Such a cool dude. And that was a moment I will never forget.
Yeah, I mean, I've met a lot of guys, and most of them are really cool. You know,
Yeah.
Symphony
Yeah,
X
Dave
was one.
Mustaine was like a one off. That there's only one other dude I could think of that I've met from a band that was a dick. Most guys I've met have been pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, I mean, I met Symphony X. They were awesome. They were really nice. Um, yeah, I mean, like everybody they've all been. I mean, even the brief interactions we had with Accept when we opened for them, they were cool.
Yeah.
You know,
Especially Jason McMaster was really cool.
yeah, that we got lucky. That was a weird night we got to open for them
Yes.
because you know that was when
Not many people got to see that set.
no, especially because they had Mark and Jason singing,
Yeah.
and that's probably unlikely to happen ever again. You know,
Yeah, probably not.
so
Even though he's kind of seems like the guy that bands go to because he
yeah,
sang for Armored Saint for like a week and
yeah,
like not that long after the Accept tour.
yeah.
That was fucking great though, man. That was fun.
That was a good one. Yeah, but we played that one, so I can't count that.
Right, yeah.
um,
That's definitely one of the cooler shows I've ever played because of the fucking dressing room experience and hanging out with Jason McMaster.
yeah, and like despite him being sick, and I even told him I was like, dude, I would have never known you were sick a couple days ago. And he's like,
Yeah,
oh, thank you. I could feel it though. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
it sounded great. So
yeah. Mark sounded good.
yeah. But another one I would say for me, just because it will never happen again, was I saw Pantera in '96,
Nice.
Slayer and Soulfly,
Oof, what a good show.
and that'll never happen again because it was
No, it won't.
original Pantera. And
Yeah.
so
And the original Slayer would fucking that was probably Lombardo and Hanneman, right?
no, that would have been Bostoff, but it
Oh, it
was
was both staff.
I
Okay.
I've never seen Slayer without Jeff.
Without Jeff Hanneman.
Yep.
Okay.
I've seen
Yeah, so that makes it even more special. You got to see fucking Jeff Hanneman.
I saw him twice, no, three times with him.
I saw them once with him. Yeah.
But the last time was with this is a weird one. It was Megadeth, Slayer, and Testament. And Bostoff was playing with Testament. And Lombardo was
Oh
playing
yeah, I
for
remember
Slayer.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking Formation of Damnation.
Yeah, well, it, yes, but no, because this was the tour where Megadeth did all of Rust in Peace. Testament did all the Souls of Black, and Slayer did,
Seasons.
I think it was Seasons. But every
Yeah.
band played like one or two songs that because Megadeth and Slayer was like a co-headliner.
Right.
They both did 90 minutes. So like Megadeth played like Head Crusher because that was the new one, which is a good song.
Yeah, it is.
Slayer, of course, did Rain and Blood.
Yeah. Of course. They have to.
Yeah. But I don't know. I was so nervous because when Testament went on, it sounded like shit.
Really?
And then not because of them, like just whoever was doing the sound, it sounded like shit. And I was like, oh
Yeah.
no. But I guess they each had their own guys, and all of a sudden it was fine
Yeah,
after.
they probably had their own sound guys.
Yeah, when it wasn't good, it wasn't ugh. Like this for the drums, like all you heard was like cymbals. It sounded like it was terrible.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, yeah. So
Yeah, I never saw Testament sound bad. I saw them open for Slayer on Slayer's retirement tour in 2018. And Testament, for some reason, was the very first band of the night. They went on before fucking Behemoth, before Lamb of
yeah.
God, and before Anthrax, which is crazy.
For me, they shouldn't have been on before any of them.
Yeah, right? You would
Yeah,
think fucking Testament would go on at least before Anthrax.
yeah.
but Testament sounded incredible, and then Behemoth and Anthrax and Lamb of God all sounded bad.
Really?
Yeah, it was weird. Like Testament were almost perfect, like it should have been recorded for a live album. And then the next three bands were like, oh my God, they all sound like shit. And then Slayer sounded incredible.
That's weird. Like I seen Behemoth uh actually open for King Diamond.
I was at that at
Oh
the
yeah,
chance.
wasn't it Behemoth and Nile and King Diamond or something like that?
I think it was Behemoth,
Oh,
Nile,
Black Dahlia
the Black
Murders.
Dahlia,
Yeah,
and King Diamond. Yeah.
I was there.
Nile sounded awful that night. Oh, I had to go outside. They were terrible.
I don't remember. There was a whole bunch of wacky shit going on.
Yeah.
But that was a good one. Yeah, we were hanging
That
out.
was a great show.
It was
And King
wacky.
Diamond during his set was like, oh, I have the flu. I'm sorry I sound like shit tonight. And I looked at Christine and I was like, he's got the flu?
Yeah, I
He
had no idea.
sounds incredible.
And we were hanging out with Black Dahlia somehow, and it was just on their bus, and it was all weird nights. Like,
That's awesome.
yeah, they were cool.
Yeah. I've heard they were cool guys.
Yeah, their guitar player left recently. It's
Yeah.
he wasn't in the band then, but
Yeah. He wasn't in the band back then, but he was a big part of
yeah,
what's kept people listening to them
'cause he's
recently because the singer died.
fucking one of the best young guitar, well, relatively young guitar players.
Yeah.
I mean, he filled in it with Exodus and everything.
That's right.
He's a monster of a guitar player,
Yeah.
and he lives close to us. Well, me, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's in Jersey somewhere. Uh, but I don't know what he's doing now.
I
But
haven't heard that he's got any other thing going on. Maybe he had enough of touring.
there's been rumors that maybe he's going to be the guy for Nevermore.
Ooh.
But when anybody's had mentioned it on a comment or something, he would just write no. But
Oh, okay.
I don't. It's like, yeah, maybe it is no.
But you never know.
Yeah, but he
He
can
could
also
be trying to throw people off.
he could just not answer too, though. You know.
True.
But you got to think of it like this too. He's with endorsements and a big following. He could kind of make money not touring.
Yeah.
Have a Patreon where he gives lessons. You know,
True.
although he doesn't seem to be like at an age where he'd want to slow down. I mean, he's got to be like maybe 30.
Yeah, I
Not,
would say at the oldest he's like 31, 32.
yeah. So I mean, like, it's not an age people typically stop touring. So maybe he's working on something.
Unless he's just had enough of that life.
Maybe I guess it's possible. Maybe he's working on something else though.
Yeah. It's not for everybody, man. I would think a dude like that probably doesn't have the fucking best amenities on the road. He doesn't have like a Metallica bus.
No, but I mean, I would assume they were doing pretty well. I mean,
Yeah,
especially he's endorsed by Jackson, which is a big company.
true.
He has a signature model guitar,
Right.
and they sell, so he's getting a cut of that.
Yeah.
So I mean, I would
But then
assume,
think about like, the dudes from think about like a band like Sepultura. We've known a guy that booked them and they don't get to stop and like shower whenever they want to and kind of live sort of comfortably like they're roughing it on the road.
yeah.
So if Sepultura's roughing it, that kid's roughing it too.
Hey, when I opened for Deicide, they showed up in a minibus.
Yeah,
Like they weren't driving a big tour bus.
right.
So
Yeah, there you go.
same thing with Testament. I mean, this was a long time ago. They're I'm sure they're fine now. This was in the era of metal isn't quite back yet. You know,
Oh, okay, like the Gathering era, sort of.
early 2000s. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Especially
yeah,
Deicide.
yeah. They were struggling probably at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I saw Megadeth playing places that held 1,500 people, and it wasn't sold out. And
Right.
Iced Earth was the opener, and it wasn't
Yeah.
like so.
You
Yeah,
see that Matt Barlow thing that's coming around? Fucking Dark Saga?
no,
Ashes of Ares is doing the Dark Saga.
oh,
It's
yeah,
pretty
he's
dope.
one that he's got to be close to having enough time to retire from being a cop by now.
You would think, yeah.
20 years, I think, and you retire with a pension.
Right.
You go back to me. When I saw Demons and Wizards 2019, I think.
Hmm.
I guess uh Prague Power in Atlanta was like the week after, and
Yeah.
Matt Barlow showed up at Demons and Wizards and came on stage and did a nice Earth song with them.
Oh wow.
Fucking awesome. And
Yeah, that's great.
but I saw I've only seen Iced Earth once without him, and
Right.
I've seen Iced Earth. I saw them for Horror Show and oh God, I don't remember whatever was before that. So
Before Horror Show, I think was the Dark Saga.
I saw them for that then uh,
Okay.
with Jack Panzer.
Nice.
Yeah, and In Flames. That was a weird one.
Wow, that's a great show.
Yeah, and Chris Broderick was playing a Jack Panzer at the time, and now he's in Flames.
Now he's in Flames,
Yeah,
and fucking In Flames are so much better because of it.
yeah. I mean, he's a monster of a guitar player too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Have you heard that newest In Flames album with him on it?
No, it was never a band I got into that much.
Give it a shot though. Like give it one run through. It's
Yeah.
worth it.
Okay, I think Jack Panzer got Joey Toffoli back.
Yes.
And for anybody that doesn't know Jack Panzer, he was the original. Well, maybe not the original, but he was on a lot of the earlier albums. And when Chris Broderick took over, Joey Toffoli's a fucking beast.
Yes, he
He
is.
went off after Jack Panzer and did like all this wacky jazz fusion shit.
Right.
But he's a beast. So when Chris Broderick took over, unless you looked at the guys playing, Chris Broderick was so good. I didn't notice at first that it was a different guy.
Yeah.
You know, like because he was just so good. You know, and it was like, and then they always had great. After Chris left, they had somebody else briefly who was also very good. And I believe they have Joey Toffoli back now. But then
Yeah, I think
I
you're
don't
right.
see them doing anything though.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not like releasing anything new or touring.
Yeah. But, but anyway, tell us what your favorite shows you've been to are right down there below us.
Yeah. Right there below us. Tell us your favorite concerts you've been to.
Yeah. And why, I guess.
Maybe we fucking didn't mention a band that you we should have.
Yeah, there's probably a lot I forgot. I've been to a lot of concerts that probably are slipping my mind right now, you know,
Same.
especially when I was younger. You know,
Oh yeah.
so and it's tough, I know probably for you also, for me to think of shows that I wasn't playing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of the
Yeah.
shows I
Yeah.
went
The
to.
shows that I could think of that I played where I'm like, that was so good. Ah, but I played that.
There's a lot of those for me. So like
Yeah.
Queensryche was an awesome one, you know.
Yes. Absolutely.
Well, anyway, two metalheads.